Well, hello. Hello and welcome. I just wanted to pop in for a few minutes and see if anybody's out there and just wanted to see what you thought about a podcast. Is anybody out there? Is there anyone available? Can anyone see anything? Goodness. I'm alone, but I'm sure people will pop in. It's a surprise. I'm doing the Cash is King trucking thing. Hey, hello, Alex and George Costanza. What's happening? Jay Z. Yeah, I got a question for everybody. Derek, what's going on? And Trucker Hershey's here. Grafton is coming in. People are showing up. That's good. Just wanted to see. Hey, these are the people that mostly watch the channel live. So, hey, would you listen to a podcast? I'm thinking about starting a podcast. Oh, yes. We could go longer on those. What do you think about that? Just taking a small poll, I guess. What's happening, everybody? The wild ride. Hello. Let's see. Dennis Jones is here. Yeah. So just thought I'd just pop in. Everything going good out there for everybody. It's almost the weekend for some people. It's very logical to start a podcast. I mean, that's the way to everybody's getting into it now. I might as well. If Joe Rogan can do it, I might as well. I had one for a couple, I don't know, about 10 episodes a couple of years ago and thought, you know what? Let's get this thing fired back up again. We can go longer on these kind of things. Hey, AKA, what's going on? It's good to see you. Yeah, George Costanza. All right, Kelly. Thinking about live broadcasting the fireworks. Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Watch the music. If you're anybody that's going to be doing that broadcasting, let me tell you, fireworks, if there's music in the background, do not do it. All right. You'll get booted right off of YouTube. So keep that in mind. Sir Velham, podcast would be of interest. All right. I didn't know anybody to listen to podcasts out there. So if people are listening, that'd be good. And maybe get a podcast going this weekend here. Podcasting is the way to go. All right. Yeah. Then people don't have to look at me. That'd be probably better for people, man. Actually, Eric, what's going on? No more company driver took the leap to owner operator. Wow. Getting the checks. That's great, Michael. That's great. That's for you. Then do it and get that money. Now's the time. Certainly it is going good out there for some owner operators. Alex encouraged me to do a podcast. All right. I did have a podcast for a little bit, but without promoting it, it didn't go anywhere. So I thought I talked to Blueberry and I can just fire it right back up. So it'd be trucking answers. Those old ones may still be up. I actually don't know, but the new one will get fired back up. So my roller grill came in right. All right. Can you send me a picture of it? Is it possible? I don't even know what they were talking about. Ryan won a roller wiener grill from GP Transco, and I don't even know what it is. They came on and said, can we give this thing away? I'm like, I guess. I don't know what it is. So if you have any idea what it is, Paul would listen. That's good. You know what? I'm thinking it'd be trucking, but more than trucking. We'll talk about cars because I love cars. And I'll talk about just whatever, is on our minds. Traffic and weather on the 8s, that kind of thing. All that kind of stuff. Cats, maybe. I don't know. Oh, George Costanza, goodness. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I got a load from Tulsa to Boston. I hate Boston. Yeah, horrible. And the tunnel, the Bronx is nothing on Boston, tight streets and tighter wad people. I hated that. I used to go to Boston every week. I was there Monday morning for a delivery. And when they're building the tunnel and everything, it was horrible. Hated it. I agree with you. In California, on a hiring tour for Denny's. New wrap. Oh, all right. New wrap. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty awesome. Michael Muller listens to Reddit. What is, I don't know if you can broadcast on Reddit. I got to figure all this stuff out. K-Swab, if you jumped on the lease train yet? No, will not be jumping on the lease train. Mark's on the local train. So, look, I'm not interested in doing a lease or whatever, and my days of being gone are over. That's for you young kids today. So that's, look, if you want to do it, I never recommend a lease to anybody, of course, but if you want to buy a truck, go for it. But that's not going to be something I ever do. What do you think about working for Tough Services? I never heard about that. 28 an hour in Joliet with benefits, making 22. I don't know what it is, but $6 an hour. That's $240 a week. That's over 10,000. Would it be okay to say the name of your show on my show? You're the first channel. Sure. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So yeah, absolutely. Say my name everywhere. Say my name. Sam would listen to a podcast. That'd be great. Is 58 cents good? Yeah, that's bad starting out, at a place to get started. I made a quarter years ago. So is cats a thing this year? Cats is a thing every year, Michael. That is for sure. Cats are always a thing. Alex bought a brand new car. What is it? Lay it down on me. A year, make, and model. Night Transportation is doing a live show right now, and you have more people watching, Michael. I appreciate, believe me, when anybody comes in, I appreciate it. Believe me, otherwise I'd just be broadcasting myself. I didn't know Knight was doing a live show. I would go over there and bother him. So case 12, I'm on the local train too. It feels good, more consistent and better money. Yeah, I like being home. I did those years on the road, and honestly, I probably wouldn't go back and do it again. I wouldn't because you're just gone. I was gone for 5 months at a time at one point, and that's just not it for me. Now it's home time. There's only so many days that you have left on the planet. Use them to your advantage. So, Mr. Skeptical sent a picture. Good. I'd like to see the new wrap. That's pretty good. We can wrap to that wrap. I'm driving 18 wheels of a nice four-wheel sports car. That's awesome. What is it? It's great if you're only a year or two. 58 cents is paying in full for three myself. Yeah, that's good. Look, you're looking at $1,800, $1,800. Absolutely, buy a truck versus leasing a truck. Yeah, always go get the truck yourself. The Wild Ride Show, right? Never lease from the people writing your check because that's too much. They can control too much of that. They can starve you out or whatever. Always get the asset and own the asset yourself. What about a walkaway lease? No, walk away from it. Go buy the truck yourself somewhere away from the carrier. You don't want them to control the asset. You control your own asset. A Mazda CX-5. All right. That's awesome. What do you think about those? We don't have a Mazda dealer here in town anymore. So there's no Mazda dealer here. So I'd be a little nervous about it just from service point of it. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. People, Motor Trend, everybody loves Mazdas, the driving experience and everything. I'm in a temp service. Yeah. Transforce. I don't know what happened to them. They are advertising all over the place. I don't know if this is Transforce, but they are advertising 27, 28. They have a weekend job in Indianapolis at $40 an hour for temp service. Not bad. Is Mark singing Destiny Child Say My Name, Cash is King Trucking? I will say when I walk down the street, people do confuse me with Beyonce sometimes. So it's a possibility. I'm thinking set up a truck driver cruise. We're all the truck drivers come together and go on one cruise and stay on the group rate. We bring our own pee bottles. Well, yeah, we could also use, that's pretty good. A truck driver cruise. Wow. Now I know Night is a live show. That's good. I didn't know that Night was doing. I do think companies should do that. I don't know why they don't do it. They should always be live, answer questions. Sentinel Transportation, oh fancy, has ads showing 112 year worth experience in a tanker endorsement. Yeah, I'm seeing that in Indy for gas tankers. Absolutely. I'm seeing 100 for doing that. Yep. Had to come off the road driving a home daily route, 250 miles out and back home, exhausting. You're doing more than me. I do 350 miles a day, or about 360, depending if there's traffic and I have to go a different way per day, and drop and hook. And I think that's the way to go for me. If people don't want to do it, that's fine. But that's for me. Ryan sent a picture to email. Good. I want to see what this thing is. I don't know what they were talking about. You talk if you're old. You still have a lot to go. Just getting started. A lot more spunk here. Yeah, Michael Martin. Well, those years on the road wear on you. When you don't, all that time is gone. You can't get your time back. So for me, home time, most important time. Work is not the most important thing to me anymore. Certainly. Cats, cars, trucks, beliefs, movies, whatever. Yeah. Can you avoid politics? Yes. Not that I disagree. It just gets people all worked up. Yes. We'll try to stay away from politics, certainly, because people do get pretty upset about that. Oh, around Denver. All right. There's a reason it's called a walkaway lease. Low success rate. Yeah. You can just get out and they just lease it to somebody else. Go get the truck yourself somewhere. Go to a bank. Go somewhere. If you can't get the truck yet, it's not time to get the truck. Control the asset. Control your asset. I got my first truck driving flex fleet. Drove 2,000 miles a week. Got 1,800 gross. Wow. Guaranteed. Wow, because they guaranteed it. That's pretty good. So you're 90 cents a mile, company driver, and there are lease operators getting about $1.15 at some companies. Wow. That right? Pay cash or your bank company holds you down. Yeah, don't have the people that write your check also control what you're doing. It's around $1,500 at the GP with how I drive since GP made it so we don't have to pay Illinois state tax. I make 100 more on that. How does that work? Hey, you don't have to pay taxes. Hello from NC. No, you should actually pay. I've worked for companies that were not in my state, and they always took the state tax from where I lived out. They always took out Indiana. So if you get some kind of like Land Air, I forget where they were based out of many years ago, but they took Indiana tax out. CRST is the best. Can you get an amen? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what's going to be. CRST is going to be the first sponsor of the podcast. I hope we can get them to sponsor the podcast. How do you feel about the SFI deal? I don't know what that is. I used to be a mechanic, and they're amazing cars since they divorced Ford. Yes, I'm not saying the car's bad. We just don't have a dealer here. I'd have to go to Indianapolis just to buy one. Kashkin got a Trucking Answer t-shirt. Going to wear it like a jersey during the Monday live show. That's awesome. Thank you very much. That's pretty good. Paul, it's a religious thing. They don't have those dingleberries hanging from your front windshield or a personal preference. Well, some people like to dress their truck up. How about trucks, cars, cats, and coffee? Oh, that's good. I don't know that much about coffee. I'd have to have a guest on. I have a union trucking job with City of Chicago. Picked up a union bus driver. My CDL is better than my college degree. That's true in most cases. When you get French history from 1840 to 1890 degree and wonder why you're in debt and then complain to the government, I don't know about that. My name's on the title for 37 years now, The Wild Ride Show. Exactly. Now you own it. Now you can do whatever you want. If the company for some reason doesn't like you or folds, you leave with your truck. Selling your 98 Pete 279. People would probably love that. 279. Watched the movie Ice Road on Netflix. I thought it was a fun movie, easy to pick apart. I heard there's a lot of continuity problems. I don't have Netflix, so I probably won't be seeing it, but what's the special occasion? I just wanted to see people what they would think about a podcast. I've been thinking about it. Some people have written to me and said I should start a podcast. I actually did a podcast about 2 years ago, about 10 episodes. So I thought, you know what, let's get this fired up. But I thought, will people want to listen to a podcast? Maybe an hour, maybe longer, about more than trucking, entertainment, maybe funny jokes, some knock jokes. On average 8 to 10,000 a week, experience average 5 to 6, get that money. That's true. If getting money that way is important, then absolutely. There's tons of money in owner operator trucking right now. You're trying to do more live shows than me this week. I'm working on it. I thought, you know what? I got to do another live show. Of course, I don't have a whole fleet of people like you do, I think, to do my thumbnails and everything. I'm not on a Fiverr doing that. I just got hired at GP Transco, headed from Ohio Tuesday with a load to Dallas. 58 cents, no camera. James, right. So you did not take the camera, which I always tell people, do not accept the camera. You lose 2 cents, worth it. Let me know how it goes there. I'm always interested to know how it goes. I haven't had anybody tell me it's super bad or anything yet, though. So I hope it all goes well. That's awesome. I worked 80 cents and ran legal, but I had no time for myself. Health is wealth. That's true. If you don't have health, what's the point? You can't do your show from the bed. Definitely do the podcast, The Wild Ride Show. All right. We need more Crab Company in the week. Yeah, maybe we could do some talk about companies on there. Willie would listen to the podcast. Hey, what's going on? Got the truck, but lease on 88% of the load. I'm just not impressed with a lease purchase. Get the truck outside of the carrier. That's what I think. Schneider National Finance, you could take the truck with you so you're not locked into Schneider, Jake. Oh, is that Schneider Finance or whatever? But aren't those old Schneider trucks? Look, here's the thing about getting a company truck from being a company driver. I don't know how they service the truck, and I don't know if there's any way to know that on a used truck, to be honest with you. But like here, we do our own servicing on the truck, all right? They don't service the truck very regularly. They're very bad at it. And they put down that it's been serviced on time. So when they sell them, they're always like, oh, fully serviced or whatever. They're not. They're lying. All right. I've gone 104,000 or so between oil changes on the truck just because they couldn't get to it. But I guarantee you they put it on there. This truck, which is a 2021, when I got this truck from its first service that it just had it on the sticker, it showed it as the second service. Even though I darn well know it hadn't been serviced yet, I got the truck new, pulled the plastic off the seats, and it had never been a service. And they put down, and when they put the little sticker in the window, this is its second one because it has its last 3 services on the sticker. They show this as the second service. I'm telling you, it makes me really nervous to buy a company truck. And I'm sure other companies do the same thing. Running my own paycheck now as an owner operator. Yeah, now. And for a while, it still looks like probably the whole year. What does not the camera mean? GP Transco gives you the option to have a camera facing you. If you choose to take it, you get an extra 2 cents. They pay you basically for it. Without the facing camera, driver facing, you can only get 58 cents. With the camera, you get 60 cents. So your choice there. Land Air is who I'm currently driving for. Pay is not great, but they're very accommodating to my schedule. That's worth something. That's the same here, right? I don't make as much as most, probably 80% of people on here make more than I do. But, I have a very good schedule here, and that's why I'm here. I mean, where else am I going to go and work 7.5 hours a day? Alexander, what's up? Hail Satan. Hey, what's happening? Right. That's one for the bell. Anyways, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Just wanted to pop in and see what people thought about that. Would you listen? That's mainly what I want to know. I work for Meadowlark. Awesome. I make 30% of the load as a company driver, but you have to wear those long shorts, right? With the stripes on them. Who remembers what I'm talking about? What do you think about a YouTuber getting the cops called because he wanted his trailer unloaded within 2 hours? Who would call? How did they call the cops for that? And is he just trying to get views or what? I would like my trailer unloaded within 2 hours also. Trans paying 32 cents for experienced drivers. Wow. Are they still really paying 32 cents? Yeah, no camera. I agree with that. Company driver at Delta Freight in Elk Grove Village makes 60 cents. Yeah, there we go, right? Delta. The way to really fly. You can get a new truck from SFI. Oh, they control the truck even if you leave. I've heard they sued a driver for $9,000 for turning the truck back in. That's awesome. I didn't know you could get new trucks from them. Well, at least it would be new. Get the truck from a bank or whatever, away from a carrier. Dash cam's fine, driver facing, no thank you. Exactly. So I would say just take the 58 cents and be done with it. Bill, don't forget the like button. I appreciate that. It was great. She needs to be on the podcast. She's out back looking at the birds. I just looked at her back there, and she's looking at the birds, and she's still mad at me for having her teeth cleaned this week. So Meadowlark is a joke. Hey, he was one of the best players I ever saw. I don't think he was the guy that stole the purses, though, right? Does anybody follow what I'm saying yet? I started wanting Kelly. I'd listen to a podcast. All right. Well, maybe we'll give it a try. Alexander would listen and enjoy podcasts. I didn't know if any drivers really listen to those or not, if it's just road dog radio all day. Nor wear normal shorts. Well, he may not know what I'm talking about. The cops were called because he walked into the corporate office demanding his property back. Oh, yeah. That's not a great plan. That's not the way to get unloaded, I don't think. Donuts work a lot better. Jim, a podcast would be awesome, especially if it's about the same amount of time as a normal show. I was thinking an hour or maybe longer, a couple of times a week would be good to put that out, I think. We could do traffic and weather on the 8s also. I took the driver-facing camera for the extra 2 cents, but I kind of slid for the money. Well, look, if you want to do it, they give you the option for that. I wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't do it for 2 cents. It wouldn't matter if it's $1, right? I'm just not doing it if given the option. They're one of the only places that I see with an option, which I think is pretty interesting. I actually think someday that'll end, even though they say it won't. I kind of think that in the future, it'll just be like, look, we're just going to have to do the cameras, and they're just coming to everywhere. I do think that because they already have it there, They'll just say, here, we're going to give you the 2 cents and we're turning the camera on. Maybe. I don't know. I don't work there. Can the DOT ticket you for blow up down the passenger seat as long as she has her seatbelt on? I don't think you're allowed to use the HOV lane or the HOE lane for that, but no, I don't think so. As long as it doesn't obstruct your view. I'd keep the podcast right an hour max, just my opinion. The Wild Ride Show. That's enough of me, people are saying. I get it. I listen to Joe Rogan all day. All right. I heard he's doing pretty good. He got like 100 million for doing that podcast. Isn't that crazy? I want to start uploading my content, Alex. Hence the reason I have my username as it is, but I'm very shy to do so. Put it up there. Put it up there. Shy, you're right, because look, and I'm that way too. But people, we can't worry about what people think. Just throw it out there, because the reason people don't succeed at things is because they either quit or don't start. So all you do is get started and just be consistent and get your content out there. Slap it up there. So what? Somebody doesn't like it. Oh, who cares? I've done things I can, but I got more than 2 cents. Yeah, because of cashesking.onlyfans.com. I remember seeing that site out there. So when you have a link to sign up for that too, right? Are you on TikTok yet? No, because I'm not 19. So I looked into TikTok, and it's their average age, according to them, is around 19 now, 19 to 20 years old. So no, I haven't gone over to TikTok. I'm going to stick with it's hard to get on every kind of different platform. You got to be somewhere and just kind of stick with it. Getting on TikTok, I don't know. I'm not crazy stuff or whatever. No, so didn't get on TikTok. Can the DOT put you out of service for not checking engine light? No, they don't put you out of service for that generally, but you can be you can have a problem with the lights. So I don't think you're out of service in it though. If you don't come in with a truck, you probably won't leave with a truck. Yeah, truth and lies. Exactly. Oh, that's very good. That should be on like a bumper sticker. Show up at the company with your own truck, and then they know who's in charge of your truck, and that's you and not them. You don't want them to control the asset which is the truck. I was banned from OnlyFans because nobody else would get any views while you were live. You went live so often that nobody else could get any views on there. Alonzo, I work at Estes Express Line starting at 68.5 cents a mile, which is a weird amount, and you sleep in a hotel every day. 100% drop it hook, 1940 a week. That's very good. But who gets that extra half a cent at the end of the week if you have a mileage that where you get that half cent? They keep it. That's how they get you. That is very good. Alex is on TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. Just not my kind of thing, really. I was shy about it for years. Started my channel 3 days ago. Lots of rules. Depends on what you're talking about. Rules. I mean, YouTube's got a list of rules that you need to follow. That's why I encourage people that are going to do fireworks and go maybe somewhere, record fireworks and post it. Be very aware of what's in the background. Music, especially. You cannot have music that is copyrighted in the background. So they're going to, possibly remove your channel or whatever. So do not do that. Cash King Trucking, I missed a lot of your lives lately. What gives? He's out there live. I think California is the only state that messes with you over check engine light. It's a possibility. The light's not supposed to be on. That's all I'm saying. They may not say anything about it, and they'd have to see it, right? Don't play with fireworks. Exactly. Have you heard anything from anyone at Central Oregon Trucking on how things are going? It is still a good company. As far as I know, they're still doing good over there, and we're good. I have a hat from them here. So, yeah. I was 1036 different podcasts are not necessarily on the same day, but throughout the week. Wow. That's a lot of podcasts. Oh, 36 podcasts. All right. Only 25. I'm hip. Exactly, Alex, right? You're more like the average user on TikTok. So maybe you could get over there. Half a cent on 2,000 miles is $10. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if your miles ends up where you would be the half a cent, you'd be half a cent. They can't pay you half a cent. So they keep it. And that's how they make all their money. I would tell them that you're making your money on my half a cent. I would listen. I watch whenever you put out either of your channels. I appreciate that. Wow. And even somebody over to the car channel. So that's even better. Usually the car is the car that I start out the show with here on Sunday. That gets a video and that goes up the following Sunday on the channel, on the car channel. That's usually how that works. I don't know why, but it just works out that way. So that's how the car channel works over there. And I get some people over there, not a lot. There's maybe 750 subscribers onto that. And that channel is older than this channel. So keep that in mind. OnlyFans said I was too risky for their site. Too risky in what way? That's the question. I mean, who's doing the risking and who's being risque? How about that? Except I can't type that in here. Oh, I wanted to put this up here too. I saved it. I don't know if anybody saw this. This crazy thing. Did you see that I forget what city it was now. Anyhow, a city, the Washington, D.C. somewhere. Anyhow, they went to a house and confiscated a bunch of fireworks. And they blew it up right out front. They go, we're going to blow some of these up. They're too unstable to transport. They blew the crap out of the whole neighborhood. They blew up the semi, their own semi, and they said they blew out windows for like 3 blocks. Crazy. There's a video of it there that somebody was taking. Oh my gosh. Regular clothes were considered paid promotion. My music from Windows was copyrighted. My regular clothes were considered. Your regular clothes can't be considered a paid promotion on there. If you're talking about this on YouTube, you tell them if it's a paid promotion. You can wear whatever clothes you want. From you can wear a logoed item or whatever. And music, that's right, from Windows would be copyrighted. YouTube, for those of you doing the YouTubing thing, YouTube has tons of music that is not copyrighted for your use. Go into your editor or whatever and get YouTube music. There's tons of music you can get from them. That's the way to do it. Do a show from the National Corvette Museum. Oh, that'd be awesome. There's probably music going around in there too. Fireworks. Okay, was it LA? All right. I couldn't remember what city it was. Did you see that? They blew their own truck up. Idiots. It's Mr. Plow. Hey, what's going on? Ernest, this today Monday. You slept through a weekend. I just wanted to see what people would think about a podcast. Just want to pop in for a short, considering a podcast. See if anybody would actually listen to this thing. Get this podcasting thing starts up on Blueberry. What are your thoughts of a no Mount Rushmore 4th of July fireworks? Yeah, let's get some fireworks. I mean, nothing says I love America like blowing up a bunch of Chinese fireworks. I won't say about that. What's the car channel name? It's just Mark Rumps. It's under my name. And believe me, it's nothing. It's not Doug DeMuro. I'll tell you that. Just me going out looking at cars. There's 700 or 800 videos there over probably 7 years from car after car that I go talk about and give my opinion of that I find around town. I'm currently working for a company where we split the rate confirmation. Company gets 10% off the top and 90% is split between the truck owner and I. We go half on fuel. Why do you have to pay for the fuel? DEF 75. Okay, for the trailer. That sounds like a horrible deal, to be honest with you. How is that better than being a company driver? Let me ask you that. Every 6 months, you get a penny raise, you get to 74 and a half. In the last 3 years, you get a COLA of a 0.25 cents a year. Dang. The police chief said the fireworks went off by accident. They said, they had earlier said that they were going to detonate them on site in their containment vehicle because they were too unstable to transport. And then they blew the crap out of the whole neighborhood. And their semi, they blew to smithereens too. Do a show from the auto car manufacturing. Where's the auto car? Who makes auto cars here? By me. Over by me? What's by me? I've lived here a long time. Where are they making auto cars? I listen to several podcasts. Definitely passes time by. All right. Are you going to interview people on your podcast? I was thinking about maybe we could get some interviews on there. Northern California by writing is starting to get fairly smoking. By Reading, yeah, half the state's on fire. All those tents are catching on fire. How much should a new driver make? 50 plus. Volvo. There's no Volvo manufacturer by me, certainly. The car wizard was working on a Jaguar turbo diesel on YouTube. Yeah. Finding a diesel one, very difficult to do. Very difficult. And what did he think about it? Did he love it? I mean, it's a car that's made to last. I'll have expenses, no repairs are on me. $1,900 after expenses, and I have a decent tax write-offs. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's slightly more than a company driver, probably, with a lot of hassles on it and no benefits. So I don't know. Without benefits, you don't make any more than a company driver. Let's put it that way. For instance, I get 5 weeks paid vacation off. Okay, can you take off 5 weeks paid? That kind of thing. There's a lot of benefits to being a company driver. And so I think that kind of money, it seems like more, but it's because you're not getting the benefits you would otherwise get. Hey, Jose, what's going on? Podcast might be interesting. I'd give it a shot. All right, Jim. All right, we may give it a shot. The LAPD containment truck. Right. Okay, it was LAPD, right? That's what they're saying. But yeah, the truck blew to smithereens. It's best to have your own authority, boss. That'd be even more money, right? I think that's more of a hassle, but than leasing your truck on. But then it's more money. Any news when the 40 bridge in Memphis will be finished? Okay, is 65 in Indy still closed? 65 in Indianapolis is closed through the end of next year. Okay, so yes. And the 40 bridge, they don't have a date. They're saying maybe 5 to 6 weeks. They don't know, though. They're working on it. But 65, you're looking at next, fall at least of next year. So hit the 465. I could take off anytime. Yeah, you can take off anytime, but do you get paid to take off anytime? That's more lenient. That's what I'm saying. Paid holidays, health insurance. There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for that. I thought Autocar had a plant near Lafayette. Do they make trucks still? There's no Autocar plant here that I know of. I believe it's best to have your own authority. It's not for everyone. That's true. I mean, it's even more, getting into it. Boss trucker, all right. Depends on a lot of things and how much you want to do. That's true. That is true. What you want, depends. I was just approved from Melton. Yeah. Melton, we had a driver for Melton on here that loves it. They've raised their pay, said that they're treating him great now. So I don't know that he's on today, but yeah, absolutely. A new driver would make 65 cents to take it seriously. That's going to be tough for a new driver to make 65 plus cents to take it seriously. 50 now to get as a brand new driver, is good. You're going to make $1,250, $1,300 on your first weeks. That's $65,000 a year. On your first year out after 3 weeks of school, I don't think that's terrible money for somebody that possibly only has a GED and maybe a felony or two. That's pretty good. And you're certainly headed towards 100 after that if you want to. I need to figure out how to publish my content without giving away where I work. Just don't say where you work and don't have your work information in your videos, or work clothes or anything like that. Yeah. And then you can do it. What about Werner buying 80% of ECM? I did see that. I don't know how that will affect anybody that much. I saw an article about that, about Warner doing that. And these big companies are just going to become the Walmarts of everything else. They're going to snap up all these small places, and eventually there's going to only be like 10 companies to work for. Delta Freight Systems. All right, let's check them out. I don't want to have my career canceled by Karens. That's correct. All right, so just keep your company out of it. That's all you got to do. Autocar still builds trucks, but they're made in Alabama. All right, I didn't think there's an Autocar facility by me. I moved here in the 90s, and I haven't seen a place like that. I would go over there. That'd be something. We only have an international dealer here, really. There's and there's a Freightliner repair place here, but there's an international dealer, and they have like one truck out there. Goodness, UP Trucker Bob, thank you very much. Just got my hazmat tanker and doubles, triples. We have 2 years over the road next month. That's awesome. Grossed 100 in first 5 months. Time to step up my game. Holy mackerel. In 5 months. Now we're talking 6 digits in 5 months. Man, that you're going to be in 4 years, you're going to make $1 million. 4 years. That's something. Think about that. Mega carriers are buying small companies for the drivers. Oh, yeah, to fill their trucks, right? They can, rather than hiring people, which they can't do anymore, and they can't get you to come over, so they just buy the company, and you end up working there anyways. You have no choice. Despite what most owner-operators say, I'm my own boss and can do what I want, the owner-operator has a boss as well. It's called a checking account. Well, you still have to do some stuff, but you get a lot more autonomy. Company driver, we have very little autonomy. I'll give you that much. Is it Monday? Almost. It seems like Monday sometimes, but no, Friday we're headed for the weekend. Wanted to see what people would think about doing a podcast and if anybody would listen to it, if I actually did one. Podcasting costs a little bit of money, not much. So I thought, you know what? I'll see if anybody would listen before I jump in and get a podcast fired up. You're never your own boss unless you're independently wealthy. Oh, that's true. Right. Retirement. That's the only time. Michael, I have a GED and a felony, and you're making good money in trucking, hopefully, if you're a truck driver. So it's one of the few careers we can go with really little education and, a less than stellar background and make a decent living, support a family, and really change your life. Most people would look crooked at you, but not in trucking. We all get looked crooked at. There's only 3 rental car companies out there, Hertz, Enterprise, and Avis, right? And also that junker clunker rental. My first semi job paid $33 more than my car hiker job at Ford in 98. I went from Arby's making $133 a week gross to making $250 a week salary at my first trucking job. I thought that was the best thing that ever happened. I'm like, holy mackerel, look at all this money. I nearly doubled my pay. I was rich beyond belief. Dragon 51, I just clicked on it. All right, it is live. It says live. 106 in Vegas. Well, I hope you have your new Y123, R1234YF refrigerant going. For people that don't know, that's the new kind of refrigerant. R1234YF is the new refrigerant. So I hope you're enjoying it. Cash is King Trucking, tip your host, you scallywags. How do you invest? I invest in myself. So, rather than in things, investing in, doing things in education for myself. That's how I do it, and hoping for the best for that. So a podcast will be another way to invest in yourself, but not if no one listens. It won't do me any good. Always yourself. Kelly, well, I appreciate it. Goodness. I didn't come on for that. I wanted to see if people would come on for a, will you listen to a podcast if it goes out there? Does anybody listen to podcasts? Some people do, some don't. I listen to them all the time, and I thought, you know what? And I had a podcast, but I didn't get any listeners, but I didn't really announce it, so it's really my fault. But now I'm announcing it, so if it would come up, I can get that fired up this weekend and get some podcasts going up. 68 sunny Northeast Indiana. Yeah, it's not bad here. Mid-70s here, not a bad day. Going to be liking it. I still run the air in the truck, though. I don't like running with the windows open. If it's you doing a podcast, I'll be there. It'll be me. Already listening to Sunday rants, car lot check-ins, and trucking answers. I appreciate it. I didn't think there were any people watching the car channel. It doesn't get a lot of views, but I do it because I love doing it, believe me, or I wouldn't do it. Why R Joe? Well, it's R1234YF. The Escape has it. It works fine. There's no difference from any of the other refrigerants that I've had. It's supposed to be more environmentally friendly or whatever. It seems to run just like any other one. I don't notice any difference. It's not colder or warmer or anything. You set the temp at 70 degrees or whatever, and it cycles it on and off. So, Cash King, real estate, Webull, and life, right? Is it best to factor? That's for owner operators, and I don't know if you should factor or not. When I grew up, I'm buying a ragged out Volvo and hauling 99 cents a mile freight. Well, good. You'll just go right to Amazon.com and get all your freight right there. Robinhood only performing dividend stocks. Holy mackerel. I stopped riding with the windows down when I had a June bug hit me in the upper lip at 65. I just, yikes. I do think it's too loud and it's too tiring to drive hour after hour with the windows open. It's all that droning and stuff. So always windows closed, always. Except I always have the passenger window cracked a little bit so I don't die from fumes or anything. Kelly, probably not, Joe. It's most likely environmentally friendly. Yes. It's just as cold. Okay. It's plenty cold in there. No problem. The Sonic has the 134 or whatever, but the Escape has the new stuff in it, and it looks the same and everything. So trucking is a great career. I've made a good living doing it. Absolutely no regrets. And I don't have a high school diploma. The Wild Ride Show. Yeah, look, and it can change your whole life, right? You can do basically whatever you want without a high school diploma. You can't do that anywhere else. People go get a college degree, spend $100,000 over here at Purdue, and make 35 grand. I don't think that's a great idea. Did you hear about TFI buying UPS freight? Yeah. As Cash is King said a few weeks ago, they re-stickering the trucks, and I'm starting to notice those now as well. They're all saying T-Force on them instead of UPS. They still drive weird though. Non-recourse factoring is okay. Oh, so they can't come back at you. Used to get audiobooks from the truck stop you could check out. People will listen to a podcast. Yeah, audiobooks. Thinking about doing that, reading audiobooks. Hello, this is reading a book. When's the podcast starting? I'll be there. Jose, well, I can get that started this weekend. I was looking into it. I have a podcast feed from Trucking Answers. I did about 10 shows. So I wrote to them. All I have to do is restart it and put another podcast up. So it would be Trucking Answers podcast. So I can get that going this weekend. I wanted to see if anybody would be there, really. June bug exploding went up my nose and in my mouth. Gross. And since then, that driver's window's been closed. Just that groaning sound from all day, though. The air's got to work for that. My high school diploma was a CDL, Lindsay, and it worked out better than getting a high school diploma. And honestly, has anybody ever asked you for your actual diploma? No one's actually asked me, can you show me your diploma? No, I don't know where it is. So I tell people, look, just write down the year you would have graduated anyways. What are they going to go check with the school? I just added to my podcast lineup. Is it still on there? I didn't actually check the feed, so it could still possibly be at iTunes. I have a few college degrees that are largely useless. Nice. Exactly. My wife is going to college to be an RN, and I will make more. Lindsay, well, that's something. But that's, at least on that degree, that's worth getting because she will also have a career for life. There'll always be a need for both of you. You can basically, you can move anywhere you want. Factoring does have a cost and cuts into profits. It does, but at least you get your money right away. You don't have to go chasing everybody down, right? I have 3 technicals and a CDL made more trucking. Yep, Jake, this is the way to go. Little investment in education time and big payback and money time. R. Kaler, my company has their own podcast. Listen to this one instead. I'd rather not hear empty suits and skirts congratulating themselves. Well, thank you for that. Yeah. Companies are usually they're out to promote themselves and how great they are. They should maybe do podcasts about, where drivers could submit questions and they could answer them all, that kind of thing, and really answer them. Not, hey, well, look how great we are. Like we put out a newsletter too, 4 times a year, whatever. They have this newsletter and it's all rah. Oh, look how good we are. Another great thing we did and all this. Yeah, exactly. Who cares? And the CEO did this kind of thing in the industry. I could care less. The CEO. Cash King Trucking, I got a GED and I want to waste the time to get it framed to display it ironically on the wall. Exactly. What good did that do you? And you should get an honorary business degree for what you're doing over there, for crying out loud. A GED framed on the wall. That there almost no point in getting it. Your first podcast should be about how to keep truckers from blocking the fuel pumps. Yeah. Apparently, if the feed's still up, it's going to be probably the 10th podcast. That's how it's going to go if the feed is still there. What's a GED? Right. General education diploma. You can go get that if you don't graduate high school. You can go take a test and get what's called a GED equivalency, or is it educate general equivalency diploma? I think is actually what it's called. So in trucking, you don't even necessarily need that necessarily where you go. A lot of places ask you, look, put your year down. Especially the older you get, you put down the year you would have graduated. What are they going to go check with the school? I mean, holy mackerel. What would they do? My wife's school isn't there anymore. They tore the school down. So what would she? I don't know. She still has her diploma. If they have I haven't seen the scroll, where you unroll it anywhere, in a while. So that's pretty funny. Like Prime being a best fleet to drive for. Yeah, I know. They voted themselves. They handed out cards like in the office. Schneider did pull a high school transcript on me, but when they called, I already had a job. Really? They pulled your well, how old were you? Let's ask that when they pulled your high school transcript. Were you 21 or, when is your wife going to let you retire? She could focus all your time onto videos and podcasts when they pay enough for me to retire on. I'll tell you that. She wouldn't care at all what I did. It isn't any problem. Right. But here's the other thing. And I actually thought about that at some point, whoa, what if it paid what I make, which it doesn't nearly pay that. Okay. Let me tell you that. But what I can't really say that I'm a driver then if I'm not out driving. So that's another thing. I need to go drive every day and be in the industry to be a driver. Factoring is expense 2%. You get money a month early. That's 24 APR a year and months worth of money. That's pretty good. Right. Oh, no, that's actually better than the cash loan place around the corner. I have an 8th grade education. I made 74 last year driving a rollback. Right. Exactly. Jose. Not bad on 8th grade education. There are people, believe me, right now they're going to graduate Purdue that'll never make $74,000 a year, but they have $74,000 of debt. I have a CDL, but no GED. Right. Which one's better? The railroad is hiring. No IQ necessary. All right. I was just at a J in Arizona. 2 drivers pulled up to the pump. Both got out their shower bags and saw them waiting for the shower to be called. Nice. Some goober did that last night at the Petro. I'm fueling up and he pulls in next to me, parks at the pump and grabbed a bag and took a bag inside the Petro. Now, it was just the 2 of us at the pump, but still, go park. I gave Indiana University over Bloomington $60,000. IU Bloomington. I should have just bought Microsoft stock. That would have been a better investment. Teachers would say you can't make a living starting out the window. Well, I do. I make more than the teacher. Exactly. You can go first year, make more than most teachers because there's tons of teachers. They say, oh, teachers, they need teachers. Indianapolis had like 4 or 5 teacher jobs. They had hundreds of people have applied. That's why teachers don't make any money. I'm surprised a lot of drivers don't know the new 30-minute break rule. If they did, they wouldn't block the island. Drivers have no idea. We still have drivers that think you can drive, they're 15 and 10 for crying out loud. Well, you're 22. See, so they're like, all right, we need your high school transcripts. So I wonder if you were 42, if they would still want your transcripts. California Highway Jeweled all lined up along I-5 southbound to catch speeders. Nice. 55, right? Saves lives. I just voted myself best driver. Got a plaque. Hopefully I'll vote myself prettiest driver. Will you be putting a sticker on the back of your trailer for that? Or maybe on the side of your truck? I was applying for driving jobs a few years back. I had to put my middle school information to fulfill the 10-year work history. Middle school information. Do you have to put, so I would think you wouldn't have to go back when you were a minor. Holy mackerel. What if they would have done that when you're 20? I started driving at 21 years old. Do I have to go back to 11 years old? 10 years? Oh my gosh. Greetings from the toothpaste aisle at Walmart in Chickasaw, Oklahoma, Gear Jammer. I hope you find what you're looking for in there. Sparkly. Pearl drops. We are all transportation engineering specialists. We get paid that way. Some of us $100,000, people are very surprised, but then we can't get people to go do it. So I don't know about that. People won't go do it. They just rather sit at home. Should have had the speed jumps going eastbound so you can get that last hour. I was fleeing for Arizona. They're finally leaving, saying we're sick of walking on needles. Definitely getting a patch to congratulate myself for being best driver. Oh, I like Schneider. Everybody at Schneider gets a patch. You might as well have one too. Schneider should be called the patch company of the world. Holy mackerel. Schneider. Every driver there's got 40 million patches going down both of their sleeves. They have all these little things, 50,000 safe miles. I've seen them, 50,000 safe miles. And so then they get 100 million patches. I heard Pennsylvania passed some law that will make things much harder for truck drivers in that state. What are they doing in Pennsylvania? I didn't see anything about that. I know some states are getting weird about stuff. Truck drivers are born, not produced. I think you either get it or you don't get it. If you vote for yourself 2 years in a row, you'll have to get a gym bag. The second year, you get the gym bag. I tell employers identify as a college graduate, but have no paper trail. I wonder if they would even check that. But see, I doubt it because what do they care? What do people care when they put that down? Must be a high school graduate or high school diploma. Who cares? You're 46 years old. Who cares if you graduated high school 20 something years ago, 30 years ago? What's the difference? Honestly, can you do? I've been driving for 10 years. Oh, wait, but do you have a high school diploma? That's real important. Did you take that philosophy class? I just looked on eBay and you can buy Schneider patches on there. You better believe I'm buying one to put in my coat. I'm sure. Those Schneider drivers get so many of them. I think some of them make more money selling their patches than they make at Schneider. And that's real money right there. All the patches, they're handing them out. It's like crazy over there. Schneider patches. You can get uniforms from all different kinds of companies and stuff on there too. The diploma is overrated. I can't wait to start at Holland overtime after 8. Thank you to Trucking Answers for your wisdom and guidance. I'm 32 years young, looking to have a long new career at Holland. All right, that's awesome. Well, you're quite welcome. I hope you do good there. I mean, overtime past 8, that's the way to do it. Paid for your time. I mean, you don't have the stress of, sitting in traffic, like traffic is supposed to be really bad today and all that, because you're going to get paid. No problem. Put the Schneider patch upside down as a sign of distress. You wear your Schneider jacket upside down. The GED is only good if you want to go to college. Yeah, some of that stuff doesn't matter. My new nickname for Schneider drivers is Patches. They all have the same CB handle called Patches. Because some of them, I don't know if you've all seen this, some of them have patches, their whole back of their jacket, they look like, either like a motorcycle gang member, or maybe they went to too many Boy Scout meetings and have all these merit badges. What do you think of the new bill in Connecticut? What is the new bill in Connecticut? And who's Bill? Lindsay, the new bill in Connecticut. I don't know who Bill is. So I just wanted to ask people, I guess I'll be heading out of here momentarily. If you'd listen to a podcast, if we did a podcast here. So maybe an hour, maybe a couple times a week, not just trucking, other stuff, cars. I love cars. So whatever's going on out there, news, stay away from politics pretty much. So that kind of thing. Maybe guess if I can figure out how to do that. I actually have a podcast I did a couple years ago, haven't uploaded, didn't know it's still out there. It might be Trucking Answers podcast, which I can fire it back up and get it going again. So just thinking about it. Can't wait to see the merch when you start your podcast. Rolling your patches. Oh, I should think about that. I'll see if I can get patches going on there. I'm going to buy a Prime jacket and put Swift and Schneider patches all over it, except most of the people will be your guest on your podcast. I don't know who would be a good guest. Some people wouldn't come on it, so maybe drivers. Well, right shows I headed out, providing I'm up. Well, you can listen to podcasts anytime you want, right? Podcast download to your podcast player, whatever. I use the Google Podcast catcher for my Android phone for all my different podcasts that I listen to, like Bill Handel on the law and stuff like that, and all my car podcasts. But it just downloads. You listen to it whenever you want, right? New Bronco, not a fan. Trucks aren't my thing. Trucks just aren't my thing. I would like the smaller engine. You can get the smaller engine with a 7-speed manual. I think that'll be interesting. Everybody says they would love that. Nobody's probably going to buy it. The big engine's going to get some power in there. Bronco, just not my kind of thing. Not my kind of thing. Too much off-roady. Too loud in that. I'm all on road here. But if it's if it's people's thing to go off-road, I'm all for it. But it wouldn't be for me. Give me some on-road tires and a nice quiet ride. For sure, definitely do some industry news and interviews. Yeah, industry news, always traffic and weather on the 8s, all the latest CAT information, latest car information, everything that, that comes to mind. Stuff that's different than just trucking, more than trucking. It'll be the More Than Trucking podcast. Ooh, that'd be a good name, but it already has a name. Checking out, we try to be back Monday. All right, thank you, Alex. The mayor's charging trucks over $26,000. Oh, I don't know, Lindy. I don't know if he'd be allowed to do that. That'll be a lawsuit. You couldn't, city, I don't know if a city can do an impede interstate freight. That's how that'll be sued like that. Just like when they used to have all those stickers and stuff, they're not allowed to do that anymore. So I think that'll be a problem. To charge like that. There'll be a lawsuit, so that'll be halted. This is the only time probably the ATA and I will agree. Oh, maybe we can get Chris Spear on there, head of the ATA. I'll write to him, invite him on the podcast. That'd be fun. We can have people submit questions and ask those questions. Yeah, we'll see if I can get Chris Spears, the first guest on there. We'll see what happens with that. But either way, I have to take off for to get off to work today to go through traffic. Thought I'd ask that question today, see what everybody's doing. I appreciate everybody coming today. Thank you very much. Believe me. And we'll be back, of course, Monday live as usual, and then hopefully Sunday. So be safe out there this weekend, but I do have to head off to work, and we'll get the podcast started. When I get that information, I'll bring it out to everybody. So otherwise, thanks for being here. Be safe in the bad weather, if there is any. It's super nice here, though. Have a good holiday and drive safe. Thanks, James. The feds will whiz on their heads. Yes, I hope so. I wish they would. That'd be one of the first things they do. That's any good. So that would be great. So otherwise, thanks for popping in and I surprised you, and thank you for coming in. And we'll be back soon, of course, with more Trucking Answers and a Trucking Answers podcast.